Hey, welcome to Confident You podcast. I pray that you're having a great day or have had a great day. Whatever time of day you see this, I pray greatness in your life. Listen to me, confidence is something that you have to invest in. That's my favorite statement. You have to invest in it. So let's talk about something that you have to invest in your confidence. Confidence is really exuded when you don't lie. Think about it. If you have to go around and make things up and not tell the truth, it kind of takes away your credibility. It's kind of hard for people to believe in you. Then after a while, it's kind of hard for you to believe in yourself. So that's our confident tip for today. Tell yourself the truth. Tell others the truth so you can confidently walk in truth. All right, today we are here to talk about health is wealth. Listen, everyone wants to be prosperous. Do you understand that you can be prosperous in your health, in your body, in your mind, in your emotions? Health is wealth. Now, I'm not an expert on this topic. Everyone knows the basic things, but I have an expert. I have an experienced person here to help us walk through this tonight. I am very excited that joining me in this conversation, it will be the spicy wife mompreneur who is on a mission to elevate our consciousness, and help us apply the true meaning of health is wealth. As she shares with us her overcoming of her own health challenges and her social and family pressure for her to not do it her way. She's also going to help us and be an example for us to have confidence in kicking those crabs off of us that are in that bucket. All right. So without further ado, I'm very excited to have with me today, Ana Maria.
In the house. Yes.
So amazing. Love the energy. Yes. Because it's about to be fire. Everything you're about to say is about to be fire. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How are you?
I'm doing very well. No complaints at all. How could I, when you agreed to be here and share all of your knowledge and experience to help people have wealth in their health? I'm very honored. Thank you for joining us. So just tell people who Ana Maria is, what she does.
Hi. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. I've been watching your episodes, and they have been on point.
Thank you.
Very thorough, very professional, very motivating. So, girl, you inspire me because I'm just starting out my podcast, and I'm like, I need to post. Okay.
You got it.
So
you got it.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you. So just tell them a little bit about you, what you do.
Yes. So right now I am a holistic wellness practitioner, and I am an online influencer in health. I've been doing that for the last 5 years. Previous to that, I'm a former dialysis technician. So I worked in various clinics around the U.S. And right now I'm also dabbling in investing. So that is the new venture.
All right.
But it has taken, all these years of getting healthy to even be able to get to that point, because a lot of the, my family members and friends, their wealth is tied up in their health or their lack of good health, going to doctor appointments, having sick days from work, not feeling well. I had some family members pass away in the last 3 years. So definitely health is wealth. That is what I'm here for, to share with y'all.
Right. My condolences for your family, the loss of your family. I would like to start with, you said all these years. First of all, tell us where you're joining us from right now.
Well, right now, my background here is in my fabulous condo in Puerto Rico, overlooking the ocean. Okay,
there you are.
In this 3D realm, I am in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, Cincinnati, Ohio. But that's not where you're from. Tell us where you were born.
I was born in Venezuela. That's in South America, right next to Colombia.
In Venezuela, right next to Colombia. Absolutely beautiful. I've been to Colombia. My mom took me when I was 6. Yes, absolutely beautiful.
I want to go.
So how do you get?
It's like Venezuela.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So how do you get from Venezuela to Cincinnati? So when did you come here to America?
Yeah, I first came when I was 5 years young with my mom, my stepdad, and my sister. We moved to Miami, Florida. We were there a few years, and we lived in Cleveland, Ohio, so north of here. And then when I was in my teenage years, I moved back to Venezuela, did some school there. And when I was 17, I was like, I gotta go back. I need to go back. The dollars, the money is over there. The opportunity is over there. You know, I love my country. If it wasn't for the economy, I would still be there. But I don't know if you know about Venezuela's economy. They have the world's highest inflation right now, and they've been that way for over 10 years, over probably at least 20 years. So when I left, it wasn't too bad. That was 17 years ago. But right now, it's like almost impossible. So a lot of people are turning to crypto. And now I have some family in Argentina, but over there is the second country with the highest inflation. So
my goodness,
why we are on the topic of health is wealth, man.
Yes.
Because if you don't have your health and you can't get your wealth, these countries, they can eat you up.
Listen, so on the topic of health, what made you start your journey into health, and how did that start?
Well, when I was 9 years old, I had already been living in the U.S. for a few years, and I saw how my mom gained a lot of weight, some of the family members too, and me, I didn't gain weight, but I was diagnosed with high cholesterol at 9 years old, and I was this skinny, and I didn't have any symptoms. You know, it's like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, those things don't really have symptoms a lot of times until you go get yourself checked. So when that happened, it really turned on a light bulb inside of me. And I was like, wait a minute, so what I'm eating is affecting my inside? And even if I look healthy on the outside, there could still be something wrong on the inside. So ever since then, I was interested in nutrition and exercise and which is best, and experimenting with that. Then when I was 14, I started going to the gym, doing a lot of Zumba classes, and running. I love to run. And even though it was extremely unsafe to have a 15-year-old run at 5 in the down the road in Venezuela, you know, in hindsight, but thankfully nothing happened.
Yes.
You know, the Lord, the universe wants me to be here. I am here to tell the
work
story.
to do for you.
Yeah.
There is a work to do for you. So how did you begin in the medical field?
when I graduated high school here in Miami, I wanted to be a doctor, and I was accepted into the universities. I graduated at the top 10% of the region and all that, but there's a caveat. There was no scholarship. They were like, "Yeah, you got acceptance into any school that you want," and I was like, "Okay, so I'm going to pay for it." And I didn't have, since I wasn't born here, I couldn't apply for scholarships at that time. So I said, well, I'm not gonna take out this huge student loan to go into medical school. I'll do it later. I'll find a different way. And I found a technical school that was Job Corps. Have you heard of Job Corps?
Yes.
Yeah, so they offer great programs, and it was free. I got to live at the dorms and get this whole experience. And I went into medical assisting, medical billing and coding, patient care technician. And I was there for 2 years, studied everything that they had except nursing. I didn't want to do nursing. And then with that, I went, and when we moved to Texas back in 2012, there was a dialysis clinic down the street from where we were going to move to. So I said, let me see what that's all about. Excuse me. And then I applied there. I shadowed for a day, went to see what the dialysis was, because I had no idea what dialysis was until I applied to that place, really.
So what is dialysis?
Yeah, and that's a great question. Dialysis is when somebody has kidney failure, whether it be from diabetes, from high cholesterol, from high blood pressure, their kidneys start to fail, and once it goes past a certain percentage of failure, then your body needs extra help to detox and remove the excess fluids from the body. So you have to go to this clinic 3 or 4 times a week and do a treatment for 3 or 4 hours a day, where they initially, so the premise, they use a machine to clean your blood.
Okay.
Outside
so
of your
with
body.
the machine, so with a machine to clean your blood outside of your body, and then it goes back into your body. They filter it back into your body, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, what were you finding were the results?
The results, well, initially I thought that it was something that people could get better from with the treatments, but then I saw that it was helping people to stay alive, but they weren't getting better. Like, it wasn't something that they would transition out of from there, unless they got a transplant, a kidney transplant, but that was really rare.
And you said you did this. When were you in the dialysis field? What year was the last time you were there?
To 2020, starting at 2012.
2012 to 2020. That's a long time to see no progress in the arena, in the areas where you were working. I can say now, last year I saw for myself someone actually get on dialysis and then get off of dialysis and walk, talk, everything fine, well. So I can say the medical field is getting better, but I want to get to your holistic. Why did you choose to go the holistic wellness? What caused you to make that choice?
Well, after, during all those years, I had different realizations with the practices that we did at the clinics. A lot of them didn't make sense, or they were counterintuitive. And then I also learned that the doctors in the medical school, they're not taught nutrition. Most of them don't even get 20 hours of nutrition in their studies. And what that translates into is every time that the doctors would come and check on the patients, they would recommend, they want their protein to be really high in the blood, because then when they get on the machine, some of it is lost through the filtration process. And so they would recommend, eat more turkey, eat more fish, eat more eggs. But in my research, it turns out that when you eat a plant-based, low-fat diet, you can get off and reverse the damages from the kidney failure, but nobody there knew that. And and then not just that, but also, let's say the flu shots and the things that they wanted the patients to get, and for us to get too. Thankfully, I chose to work in clinics because those things were optional for the employees. But if I would have worked in a hospital, that would have been mandatory. And I don't think anything should be mandatory if it's going to go in your body, really, because that's crossing that personal line of choice there. So I chose to work at the clinics, and I did take it one time when I was in training, because it was required for the internships. But let me tell you, I never get sick. But that one day that I did take it, I got this huge fever for like 2 hours, and then it went away, thankfully. But then after that, and that was when I was in school. So when I was in the clinics already, I would just opt out. I would wear my mask, which I wasn't doing anything. And when I went to read the ingredients in the shots, it's nothing but toxic elements that are in there. And also when you read the insert of it, right? Like, so if you're gonna say, hey, I want you to take this shot or this medicine or eat this food, normally you would read the ingredients, right, of what's in there. When I read what was in there, I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about how the medicine.
I have mommy brain. I'm sorry, it's late. I got a 1-year-old. It was the contraindications. One of the contraindications in the insert itself, it says to not give it to patients who are already immunocompromised, meaning their immune system is already compromised. That means don't give it to patients over 60 years old. Don't give it to patients on dialysis. Don't give it to infants. Don't give it to people with AIDS. Don't give it to sick people.
And they wanted you to administer that?
Yeah. It's their standard thing, is what they do. They administer to all of the patients. And up to the point where, we had a patient that didn't want to take it. And one of the nurses said, hey, can you go over there and talk to her for her to get it? But, this patient had a handicap. And I was like, no, she doesn't want to get it. That's her choice. No, but she doesn't know. Well, yeah, but I'm not going to do it. If you want to do what you want to do, that's your choice. But me and my life, my karma, I'm not going to tell somebody to get something that I want to get myself, because I know what's in it.
Right.
And then when I try to share it on social media, because I was already getting on Instagram and all that, I was doing a live, went to talk about it. And then when I look back at the recording, all of my comments were erased and half of the whole live was muted.
Okay. So that's how you were socially pressured to not tell your story. How about you said, I'll definitely want to get to your family and not wanting you to do it your way. But could you first tell us, what is your definition of holistic?
Holistic is a way of treatment that takes into account the whole person, the whole human body, because we are human beings, right? We're not compartmentalized. We're not machines that you can just take something apart. our thoughts and our mind have to do with our well-being and our health. And so when you go the allopathic route, they treat everything very compartmentalized and individually and separate. And so then you have people ending up with bags of prescriptions, like the patients in the dialysis clinics would come in with lunch boxes or bags of around 10 medications, between 8 and 14 medications that I then learned were also, they're chemically based, made from petroleum byproducts. So they also cause cancer.
So how is holistic going to help that? How, if your definition of holistic is the whole person, their mental, their emotion, their physical, their spirit, that's what holistic is. And you're saying that you're finding that at that time you were just coming into the realization of how much chemical was being prescribed to treat people with illnesses. How are you able to help holistically?
Well, holistically, since our bodies are from this earth and from nature, the medications that we have nowadays, they originally are founded from things found in nature. So the original medicine is herbal medicine and plant medicine. That was purposely taken out of the medical curriculum in the 1912 by after they did the Flexner report by the Rothschild, when they went to give funding to the medical schools. It's documented, you can look it up. And what that did was really take the power away from the person, because since we're one with nature, the plants have the natural chemicals and nutrients and antioxidants that are made to work symbiotically with our body. We have receptors for different plants and medicines.
Okay.
And that's just the herbal part. Then there's also the mental and your thoughts, and how do you talk to yourself, and what are you worried about, and how do you feel about your relationships? Is there trauma that you carry from generational trauma, your upbringing? All of those things work together in a way that can greatly improve any condition.
Okay, so conventional medicine, to me, looks at the diagnosis and prescribes medicine. So you're saying holistic looks at the person in totality.
Yeah, and it looks to treat the root cause of the problem as compared to treating the symptoms of the problem. It's like if you have a leaky faucet or a running faucet and you're just like putting buckets under it, it's gonna fix it for right now, but then you're having to put all these buckets, and then you have to mop the floor because the faucet is still leaking, and you're not really getting to the root of the leaky faucet.
So you did say earlier that, so I just have a little challenge. You said earlier that people should go to the doctor and get diagnosed. So you still believe that component is helpful, to get the diagnosis from the doctor?
Well, there's different kinds of doctors. So I would say, depending, allopathic medicine, I would definitely recommend if you have an emergency, if you're in a car accident, if you have acute kidney failure because you were in a car accident, or you have broken bones, or your concussion, anything that's immediate, like an emergency. But if you have something that's lifestyle related and it's a chronic disease and it has to do with inflammation and it's persistent, then I would say go to a holistic doctor first, and always get more than one opinion, right? Because it could, they could be wrong. People are misdiagnosed a lot. So definitely get more than one opinion, and try the holistic route first, because I really haven't found anything that has not been like almost 100% reversed, or that you can manage with the holistic medicine. And there's different. There's also in holistic medicine, there's different branches. There's acupuncture, there's Reiki, there's energy. Reiki is energy medicine. There's chiropractors. So there's different branch. Just like in the allopathic, you have specialists in different fields. In the holistic, you have a general holistic doctor, and then you have specialists in different areas that could together work to give you the best result.
I never thought of that. I never thought of chiropractor as a holistic doctor. I've never ever even heard that. So thank you. That's very enlightening. So in some way, we're actually seeing holistic doctors in some capacities of our health treatment.
Now, yeah. Do you mean in reference to the chiropractors?
Yes.
Or like what if you will cover?
No. I mean, I didn't realize. Well, maybe let me clarify what I'm understanding you to say. Are you saying that chiropractors would fall under the umbrella of holistic doctors, and in some sort? Yes. So that part. So that would be, so some people have been to holistic doctors and have no idea that that's something that falls under that. That's one of the branches that you were referring to, because I had no idea. So, okay.
So and they also treat babies.
Say it again.
They also treat babies.
They also treat babies?
That treat babies and infants. Yes. And that have been able to help them with like nasal congestions and sleeping better and things that you wouldn't normally think about. Even newborns and infants that maybe had a stressful birth have been greatly helped with these chiropractors.
Okay. That is very, very interesting. I didn't know. Like, I'm really, really taken aback by the chiropractor being one of the branches of a holistic doctor. What would you say? You said that you would get many options. So what would be somewhere or a situation for you where you would say, okay, no, I need to go to the emergency room? And then since you're holistic, if you went to the emergency room and they administer medicine or recommended medicine, would you say that you would take it, or would you recommend that the person takes it? Trying to see where the line is, if there's even a line, because you did say that you can choose, you can get multiple not recommendations, you can get multiple
diagnosis.
You can see, yes, diagnosis. Thank you.
What situation would I go to an allopathic or an emergency room? Yes. Definitely, if you have high blood pressure, like let's say it's 180 over 100, and you don't typically have high blood pressure, you need to go and bring that down like immediately, because high blood pressure will cause damage to your arteries and vessels, and you can have a stroke, and you can have brain aneurysms. If you have a headache that won't go away, really get that checked out. Like if you have a headache for more than a day, I would get it checked out, because that's not normal.
Okay.
I know of a neighbor here in Georgia, and he was 28 years old, and he had a headache for about 4 days, and he wasn't doing anything about it, Until until his eyes started bleeding, and he noticed. And
That
she
would
said, "Oh
that
my
would
God,
definitely be an emergency.
that is an emergency. Go to
Yes,
the
that's
emergency room."
definitely an emergency. I did want to get into your family and the do it her way. That quote is something you said to me. I just wanted to get into you're on a path to holistic wellness and sharing that with everyone to get their health together. So, what is it? How have you been getting uh, supported through your family?
Well, so about 9 years ago, my husband and I decided to go vegan and eat a plant-based diet. And before health reasons, I was struggling with prediabetes. We were overweight. I was worried about my cholesterol, and I found this way of eating that immediately got us results. We were feeling better. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, this is what my family, my friends, they've been looking for, because my family, they struggle with diabetes, high blood pressure, those two things, and obesity. So I was like, oh, they're gonna be so excited, and they're gonna try it, and they're gonna feel better, and they're gonna be happy. And then it turns out some people get offended. And I know now it's not personal, but it brought a lot of conflict between some relatives and I, because they were like, oh, I'm a carnivore and I need to eat meat. And I was like, well, technically, if you look at the science and the you look at the biology of it, technically we're not. And you know, if you just try it for a little bit, and but I can't do that. And then I didn't want to, the holidays came out. We went vegan right before the holidays. So imagine Thanksgiving came around and we went to our family gatherings, but this time we're the odd ones out and they're eating their typical thing. And we brought our own desserts and stuff. And, we called them and said, hey, we're trying this new diet, so we're going to bring some food. Oh, great. Then my husband's family there, again, resistance, backhanded comments, but they ate all our food.
So that's good to know. It actually does taste good.
It does.
So even with them eating all the food, which was good, it's good that they tried something new and that they were able to see that it does taste good and it's good for you. I know when I eat better, I feel better. So I walk better, I stand better. I actually don't need as much sleep, things like that. Very, very, very beneficial. So you were saying, you spoke with me before and you said that you had health challenges that you resolved. What were your health challenges and how did you resolve them?
Before we go on that part, I wanted to mention also that other doing it my way part that was met with some resistance was having a home birth. I didn't know that less than 1% of the births here in the U.S. were home births. And all of my family and my husband's family, they've had him at the hospital. And so here I come, Ana Maria Guataipú, and I'm going to do a home birth. And I was like, oh, they're going to be so excited. And it's going to be a water birth. And it's going to be so cool. And I'm like, no. And me, when I take a decision, I'm not a follower. So I do my research. I read from different sources. I gather information, I read books, I listen to podcasts, I take courses. So I did all these things in preparing for the birth, and it just made sense, and it made the most sense for here in the U.S. because it's the statistics for the births in the hospital are terrible. It's not the place to do it in the hospital. The way that they turn it into like a disease, like a surgery, when it's not. It's a natural process. Like, we are made to birth humans. And let's just start with the position that they put you in, this upright position. That is the worst position. Oh my gosh, like, that is terrifying.
Wow.
So
Look, let's get to how your disease, how did your holistic journey to healing yourself? What was that?
So along the years, before going vegan, I acquired these different ailments and diseases, from diabetes to high cholesterol, HPV super young. And HPV was one of those things that it's a virus, so I thought you couldn't reverse it. But let me tell you, it cleared itself up. After about 3 years of eating plant-based, it was gone. It's no longer detectable, it's no longer there. And I also had asthma, I had allergies, I had heel spurs on both of my heels that I was going to get surgery for. I was this close. I was going to get surgery in Venezuela. And then last minute I backed out because I didn't trust the doctor. All of those things naturally resolve themselves with the plant-based lifestyle and an active lifestyle.
Yes. Do you find that you said a plant-based lifestyle and an active lifestyle, and you're saying you have issues with the medical field? I always believe that the responsibility lies with the person. So have you found that even in your journey through the dialysis centers and the medical treatment establishments that you were servicing, and as well as holistic, do you agree that it's also the person's responsibility to be responsible for everything they're supposed to do? If there is a medical plan, treatment plan in place, but you're not doing everything, you could be hindering some of the better that could be coming for you. If it's holistic and you're not doing everything, you could be hindering some of the. I just want to make sure that we tell everyone it's not just that you're a part of holistic or you're a part of the medical field. You actually have to follow the treatment. You have to follow all of the steps. It's the responsibility of the person.
You have to put in the work.
Holistically, what would you say? You're a new mom. And so what would you say you're doing for your daughter? Holistically, to keep her, yes, holistically to keep her healthy.
Yeah, so the main thing, I think you had two questions there. One was, is it the person's responsibility? And then the other one was about my daughter. So the first one, yeah, definitely the person's responsibility. You do have to put in the work. If you do a coaching program, you have to actually follow the suggestions and do it. And I get it. I've been guilty of paying for a course, paying for a class, paying for one other coaching. I did do coaching. I followed with the coaching. But the classes and the courses, I've been guilty of not finishing the whole way through. So I'm not going to get the results that they claim if I don't follow the whole way through.
Yes.
So definitely, if you're prescribed something, if you're suggested something holistically or allopathically, yeah, you got to do it to see the results and what it does for you. And it's 100% of the person's responsibility. You know, their outcomes in health and in wealth. And I will also say that if they're not healthy, a lot of the times they're not going to be mentally ready or aware that they even have that choice. Or, for example, there are studies that show that the more body fat you have, the less brain matter you have. The more alcohol consumption you take, the less your brain functions, you know, or the more toxins are stored in your body, in the fat cells. So that hinders your brain power, your consciousness. So, you know, for example, with alcohol, it's so prevalent in the society that a lot of people don't even know that they're an alcoholic until they meet a recovering alcoholic and hear their stories and relate, like, oh, I did that too, or, you know,
Yeah.
tried that, and wow, so I am, you know, because it's so ingrained in our society. It's so normal. A lot of these normal things we think is okay. Once you're placed in a different environment with healthier people, with recovering people, with people who are healing from traumas, then you realize, people, or with wealthier people, then you realize, oh man, this is craziness, what I've been doing over here.
Right.
This was insanity, this what I've been trying to do this whole time. But so yes, it's a person's responsibility. Thankfully, I've always, you know, been looking for the truth, been looking for more knowledge, been looking for a way to change and improve my situations and make progress. But not everybody has that awareness. They can have the resources. There's resources. But getting to that awareness, and that's why I'm so passionate about working with people and healing them holistically with plants, using plant-based nutrition, because the plants contain information. The plants have that data in them that work with your body, help clean you out, and help connect you to the earth that has ingrained knowledge in it. It has consciousness. It has energy. And once you make that connection, then you can come back to life and realize and get that consciousness and make that progress. A lot of people walking around like zombies.
Make that progress through getting that energy, because the food has everything you need in it. Thank you very much for being here and sharing the information and sharing your personal story. Having a baby at home is absolutely beautiful. My brother did. He's had his kids at home. Fire emoji. I've seen your beautiful baby girl, so that is a blessing for you. I do believe that. Just one quick question about that. Did you ever go and just get yourself checked out at the doctor, or did you just, so there was a process of you going to appointments to making sure you got checked up, or?
For the home birth? Well,
yes.
So that process, I tried. I did. So I had a midwife and a doula. They're certified medically. They have all this emergency training.
Yes.
And I did get all of my lab work, blood tests done.
Very good.
to make sure I wasn't diabetic, or my cholesterol was too high, or any other levels, or any infections. So yes, I did do all the blood work. What I did not do was all of the other tests that they recommend allopathically with the OBGYNs. They're actually surgeons. And I did try to get a doctor just to do the thing what people wanted me to do, get a doctor. But that was so bizarre. I was in Puerto Rico. It was bizarre. I was in Puerto Rico and I went over there and I thought I would have a better experience and more open-mindedness to have my baby at home. Turns out, surprise, no, they're more archaic and old school there.
Okay.
Very, how you say, patronizing. So the relationship with the doctor, which I did make appointments to go see, was like, I'm the doctor, you're the patient, you listen to me, you don't know what you're talking about. And I just wanted to try to make a relationship so that I could have a doctor on board.
Yes.
But they were offended.
Okay.
I did not.
At your process.
I chose to not do sonograms. I was highly offended that I did not want to do sonograms because I found out that actually is radiation. Even though it sounds like it's a sound thing and it sounds safe, it's actually radiation and it harms the baby, especially if it's a male. No, my bad. Especially if it's a female, because our eggs in our ovaries, we have a limited amount. So if you're having a baby girl, which turns out I did, I thought I was going to have a boy. And they do all these sonograms, you can make them infertile. And that's not something that you find out till 30 years later when they try to have babies.
You're a wealth of knowledge, ma'am. You are a wealth of knowledge. You're a wealth of knowledge. I just wanted to make sure that in the process, it wasn't just, I wanted to see in your process, because I believe every person has a right to choose. You have a right to choose the way you want to do it. I just wanted to know, did you get blood work? Did you have a midwife? Did you have the things, other things in place to make sure that everything was safe? So that was my only reason for wanting to revisit that, because I didn't want to leave it just, I just had a home birth. And I was like, no, I'm sure there was a process. I'm sure that you took steps to make sure it was a safe situation for you, your baby, and I'm sure your husband wasn't going to have it unsafe any other way. So I just wanted to revisit that. But I really do appreciate you coming to share your wealth of knowledge and experience. I know, everyone, you're looking at her and she looks like she's only 15 or 16. But yes, this is a grown, mature, experienced, holistic wellness practitioner. She has been in her field for well over a decade. She has experienced the medical side, the traditional side of medicine, where you get your diagnosis and your medication. And now she's decided to, sorry about that, drop my water bottle. She's decided to walk the holistic path, and she started with herself. I honor that in you. I honor your pursuit to live your life on your terms and take the wealth of your health into your own hands, because it comes from your own hands, in your mouth, in your mind, in your heart, the things you see, the things you do, how you move. So yes, I appreciate you coming to share your wealth of knowledge in health. And I'd like to now allow you the opportunity. Actually, I'd like to allow everyone else the opportunity to find out how they can benefit from all your wealth of knowledge of health. I think that it is something that keeps you going. Yes, ma'am.
I think if we have like 2 minutes, we skipped
Yes.
over a question that I think could bring a lot of value to your
Okay.
listeners.
What would you like to share? Definitely.
About keeping the baby healthy.
Oh, I apologize. Oh, yes. I asked and I went back to the birth and I didn't go back. I appreciate you. I need someone to stay on me. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'll be swift, I know, because we're almost at an hour. And but I just wanted to mention it because, well, this is my passion, right? Keeping people healthy. And right now we have an epidemic of diabetes and obesity, and it's in the children now, in the babies. A lot of people see my baby and they say, "Oh, how old is she? Oh, she looks so small. Oh, she's not walking yet. Oh." It's not that she's small. It's that our babies are too big. And they're getting diagnosed with diabetes now as soon as 5 years old. Maybe even younger, right? Because that starts with what the mother is eating when they're in the womb. So then they come out really overweight. There's, they brush it off as, oh, you have big babies. No, your baby is sick. And so one of the main things that I do to keep her healthy is I stay breastfeeding her. She's 1.5 now. So she eats whatever I eat, whole foods, salads, rice, beans, pancakes, ice cream, whatever we're eating, I give her some. She tries everything, fruits.
But yours is all plant-based, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another thing. Yes, plant-based. I have to watch out with not leaving her with family members because they try to sneak in meat and other things. So she eats what we eat, all plant-based. So she's been vegan since birth, and I stay breastfeeding her at least 6 times a day. A couple times a night, and then a few times during the day. And the importance of that, because I see a lot of women just going to the bottle, just going to the formula. No, those formulas are man-made. The formulas are run by the dairy industries. They don't have your baby's best interest at heart. Anytime that the man makes anything, it's not as good as what nature intended for us to have. So in nature, you see primates, monkeys, orangutans feeding their babies until they're 7 years old. And here in the US, you see people so quick, or society pressuring you to, oh, well, at 2, they're done. Oh, well, if you can make it till 2, or how long are you going to have her on there? And as long as she wants to, as long as I can, me personally, I chose to stay at home with her so that I can be here for her, breastfeed her, homeschool her, just be there, available, and be the parent that I didn't get to have, because my parents were working all the time, and so I was home alone a lot. So I wanted to be there for my baby and make sure she gets the best nutrition. I take double my supplements, which are whole foods. They're not vitamins, so there's no worry about overdosing. It's whole fruits and veggie capsules. I take them double so that she can get it through my breast milk. And the importance of that is that as she drinks the breast milk, she's getting exposed to our environment, antibodies that are going to fight off the viruses and everything. If she ever gets a fever, she's only had a fever 3 times in this whole 18 months that she's been here. The first thing I go to, red onions. It sounds so random, but the red onions have, the sulfur in them and the antioxidants that she needs is antiviral, antibacterial. So what I do, I slice off, I cut up a little bit of onions, red onions, because the more color that the fruit and veggie has, the more antioxidants and goodness it has in there. And I put them in the bottom of her feet, put her 2 socks on, and have her sleep through the night with it. And if it persists, I keep doing that for a day or 2 until her fever subsides, when it has, and she's all better. And also she's very smart, so she knew when I wanted to give her some elderberry syrup or anything that was like medicine, she would not take it. She would not drink it. She wouldn't let me give her a bath or a sponge bath or nothing. She's like, don't touch me. Nothing. She wouldn't let me take her temperature. That was a struggle. So the red onions was like the easiest thing I could do to get on her, and the most effective, and it's cheap.
Yeah. So I wonder where she gets that spice and fire from. But so this has been very, very informative. I thank you again. You're sharing your intimate details of your life to help others achieve wealth in their health and to help them understand the impact of the choices that they're making with what they're putting in their bodies, the rest that they need, the exercise they need, everything that you need holistically as a whole person. So I really do appreciate you being here and sharing that. I would like for you to take this opportunity to share with everyone how they could work with you to get the wealth of their health.
The wealth of their health. Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, I cut off the top of my head. Hold on. So, if you want to work with me, I'd be super excited to. You can reach me on my social medias. And on there, I have the link, my link tree, that's going to have the link to my, hold on, it's a little bit late. It's a little bit late here. The link to my online health coaching program. It is finally up and running. It took me 2 months to do the whole thing, put it together. And I'm super excited about it because it is the exact blueprint that I use on myself and my clients in person to help with my diabetes, with my weight gain, with my allergies. I had acne before too. And it is neatly packaged into a six module online program that you can do at your own pace. And you're going to find the link to that in my link tree. And also, you're going to find 2 other links there for the supplements and the home growing system that I use to grow fruits and veggies organically, affordably, at home. You're going to find that on there. And it's going to be on my Instagram, which is my first and last name. So Anna.Guataipu. That's my Instagram and Facebook. And my other Instagram is Holistic Banana. In case I know my last name is a little rough. Got a lot of vowels in there. So find me at Holistic Banana 333 on Instagram and TikTok. And my Instagram has my link on there, so you could message me for consultation, or you could go ahead and just purchase the online health coaching program, so you could do it at your own pace. If you feel a little shy, if you feel like you just want to do your own thing, that's what I made it for. So find me on there. Oh, and also I'm working on my podcast. I already recorded the intro, and it's going to be dropping this Friday, titled I Did It My Way, like the Frank Sinatra song, because it's been a journey. And on there, I'm going to be talking about how I specifically managed each of my ailments on there, and my journey from health to wealth. Right now we're on, my partner and I, making 6 figures a year, going on aiming for millionaire, because that's what we're here for, and that's what I want to help you with. So check out my podcast, and on my podcast I'm also going to be interviewing other Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs who are doing their own thing. So that's what I have to share with y'all. Thank you so much. Marianne, you can come back and help.
Yes! I'm here. I'm
Where'd
here.
you go? Yes.
That is so awesome. I just, if you see her social media here, everything is going to be in the description box. So you can just go in the description box anytime you want to catch up and find her. Yes, in the description box. So I want to thank you again. You brought a lot to the table. A lot to the table. You have a lot to share. You have an amazing story. You have an amazing life's journey to your health and to the health of those around you. Your concern for those around you is very admirable. And I just want to thank you for taking the time from your baby girl. I appreciate her just waiting patiently for her mom to finish. And please give your husband a hug for me. Before you get out of here, I would like it if you could share a confident tip or two for people to attain wealth in their health.
Definitely try the plant-based journey. Plant-based as in whole foods, low fat, right? Because if I say vegan, you could eat junk food vegan and ice cream and candy, and that is not healthy, right? Those options are there. No, that's not what it is. I mean whole foods, plant-based, low fat, high carb. It might sound contradictory. English is my second language. Contradictory to managing your diabetes, because that's what we've been told. Oh, don't eat carbs, but try it. There's also a book called Mastering Diabetes that tells you specifically how and why that works, and that's going to be your best bet. And just in doing that, you remove so many ailments that have to do with inflammation, with weight gain, with dementia and Alzheimer's, that is going to change your life. It's going to change your life. Another one, stay away from alcohol. Stay away. It just does, it kills your brain cells. It impairs your judgment. You might think it's a social thing, it's a cool thing. I know I did it for many years, but I've been sober now for a whole year. And let me tell you, it has been the most insightful, eye-opening year of my life. I didn't know I had so much trauma, held up in there, bottled, disguised as fun and, suppressing emotions. But it is life-changing, and it's gonna clear up your thoughts and your consciousness and give you so much energy, and you're gonna flow better. And the third thing is follow your intuition. Our society is made for us to self-destruct. So follow your intuition to get on the healthy path, no matter what negative people say. Ignore the crabs in the bucket. That's what they do. It's not personal either. It's not personal. Just love them. Let your light shine, and you'll see how your situation changes and your energy.
Yay! Ana Maria, you have been a great... Yes! Fire! Put some fire on them. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love your energy. I love your honesty. I love the rawness of you. I appreciate you coming through and just touching on so many topics, things that I wasn't even expecting to discuss, but pushing the boundaries so that people could have that understanding of how to do things. Now, can you tell me the name of that book again that people should get?
Mastering Diabetes.
Mastering Diabetes. All right.
Cyrus. You'll find it on there. Mastering Diabetes.
Okay. Mastering Diabetes. All right. Thank you so much. I will release you so you can get back to your family. Please give everyone a hug for me. And thank you. And good night or good day. whatever time you're watching this video. All right, everyone, that was amazing. When I say you come here, you tune in, and we're going to have impactful conversations. That's going to help you address some things so you can build your confidence. Confidence is built through your understanding and knowledge of things that are going on in you and things that are going on around you. So I pray that you take all the information that Ana Maria was so gracious with sharing with us, and that you share this link with someone that you know may be having issues in their health, with the way that they're being treated by a doctor. She even brought that up, just that little thing of, I didn't like how my doctor was treating me. Personally, if I am not in agreement with the doctor, if we're not on the same page, I find another doctor. So just her honesty, even down to that little note, was very impactful. So if you know someone with any type of issues, she told you how you can address it by going to the doctor and how you can address it holistically. I appreciate her being honest and giving us the information we need to have health that is very wealthy. All right. So please do all the things: like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Check out the other episodes. Thank you for joining me here on Confident You Podcast, and see you next time.